Welcome, my name is Kat, this is my channel Kat Can Sew, and welcome to episode 34. I'm on Instagram under Kat Can Sew, not that I post on there real regularly, and here's where I talk about my cross stitch. Sorry it's been a while, it's been a month, but here I am. I will try to get back into it. We're getting into a slightly better routine. I may change from middle of the week posting to weekend posting because in about 3 weeks time my availability is going to change and I will have Fridays free. But I haven't done a ton of stitching. I have notes. I have a whole book for notes. I'm hoping that this way I can kind of keep track of stuff a little bit easier and make it so I actually film. I will admit the reason I haven't been filming is because A, work was busy, and B, I just haven't had the brain for it. It's been a lot. But as for normal, let's jump straight into the projects. I don't have a ton. We're going to get into that later in the episode. But I have got, you know, a few thousand stitches done. I've got a couple hundred stitches. I've done like almost over 1,000 stitches on about half of these projects actually. So we're going to start with some finishes. I do not have these. These have already been given to work. These are those little minis that I was working on. I have FF'd them. So here they are on the cabinet at work, or one of the cabinets at work. This is not where they ended up. They ended up on our whiteboard. Because they were so impressed that the magnets were really good and they keep getting used to hold posters, which is really cool. It makes me happy that they're getting used. So there are two of the Jaws ones. One of those went directly to one of my leads, and I may be making a second one of the Minions. I will find out if they took this one at the end of the event. We'll find out. But it is what it is. I'm really happy I got those finished. I actually now have a box that has all of my little finishing things for doing the magnets. So hopefully I'm going to get a bunch of my Mill Hill kits backed and finished. Unfortunately, I do have to do a ton of cleaning to get into all of those to do it. Let's now jump into my whips. My whips is actually, my first whip is connected to that, and that is the Jurassic World. So all of these designs, so all 4 of these designs were coloring pictures, like color by number pictures from coloringsquared.com, that I just converted into cross stitch for this fun like work event that we did during the summer. Unfortunately I missed most of the last week. The entire last week? No, just most of it. So, and I haven't been in since Monday, like since last Wednesday, so I'm not actually sure what's happened with those magnets, and I'm not sure what's going to happen with this one, but I do want to get it finished, because one of our leads who was organising this is real big into Jurassic World, so I'm hoping she gets it. Or into dinosaurs, so, which is why we did a ton of dinosaurs as well as a ton of sharks. So here is where I haven't got any before photos on this one because I haven't really been tracking it because I've just been working on it randomly. So here's where we are. I'm at like 78% done. I've probably done like 1,000 photo, 1,500 stitches I think before. If I can find the before photo, I will. But here's where I am. We're nearly there. If I don't have it finished tonight, it'll probably get finished tomorrow. So, but unfortunately the lead I'm hoping to get it is doing Horror, so I won't see it for a bit. So just on Mill Hill perforated paper that I got from 123 Stitch many moons ago. But I'm really happy with how that's stitching up. I actually altered the colors a little bit. You're supposed to use like this, it says blue on a couple pages. I've kind of changed the blues just to make them work a little bit better for the picture, because I am me. Next project So these are the projects I now start having numbers for. First project is Rapunzel and Rococo by Heaven and Earth Designs. Here is the cover image. This is artwork by Jasmine, Becket, Griffith. And here is where I'm up to. I got 700 stitches done on this since our last video. I completed those eyes. We nearly finished the face. I'm really happy with this. I completed the pre-2023 start goal, which was a 1500 stitch goal, because I did have some stitching on it last month. This is stitched on a 36 count Edinburgh. I think the colour is mocha. It might be light mocha. Could be something else randomly. I did not keep the bag that this came in, or the sticker that told me what the colour was. That I got from 123 Stitch. I started this at the start of 2020. My goal was actually to try and get it finished in 2020. We can see that happened. We have hit halfway. But that tells you a lot. I don't think I've done this for a while. So here is what I have so far. We're about to start into, once I finish the face, we start into the braid. The next set of pages finishes the filigree, and then it's just the tower. So the bottom of it shouldn't actually take as long. I don't think it's going to be quite so confetti heavy as that filigree is. And the face and the hair is going to be also quite heavy on the confetti. But, you know, making progress. I've got a little bit more of the filigree done, just because as I get to those colours up here, I've been filling in if it's down here. So I think she's been sitting in this frame in this exact spot for about a year, so this is going to take a lot of work to decrease when we get there. Needle minders are stitched for you, silks for you, Black Needle Society and Ginger Stitch AU. Needle minder ground guard is from Margaret Lee Designs. I got it off Etsy. I remembered all of the things this time. That is, the time is the charm. Next up is Wonders of the Hubble Space Telescope. Here is the cover image. This is by Climbing Goat Designs. This is the 2023 sale. Here is where I was. As you can see, I am still working on it. There's a reason why I really appreciate Stitch by Liz's. We call them start-alongs, because this one very much was. But in saying that, we're making progress. So I don't remember if I'd finished the 6th one, this one here, my last video. If not, if I did, oh look. But we are getting some more stitches done in here. I got 1,376 stitches. I completed the 2,500 to 10,000 remaining stitches stitch goal. So that's how many stitches I had left at the start of the year. Needle minders are by Thread Wine. Fabric is 28 count Midnight Sky Lugana from Live and Die LA. I remembered all the information this time. This is in a wild violet project bag that Val got me from the needlework market a couple of years ago. Like, she did a pre-orders. Next up is Koala cards. This is a series of 4 Koala designs. So I actually finished this one. The other one is on a different page, and I am currently working on this one. So here is the one I finished, including all the back stitch, satin stitch. I was pretty close, to be honest. I just had a little bit more of the bottom to go, plus all the back stitch and the satin stitch, which is the noses. Oh, and a couple of French knots that are terrible. I am sorry to all the people who can do them well. And here is where I am on the current one. I did 946 stitches, which completed the 2023 start goal, which is 1,000 stitches. But I count all my back stitch and 10 stitch, so the back stitch every 2 counts, 10 stitch counts every 2. There's a lot of back stitch on here. I think I actually hit the goal and then had a ton of stitching. Like I only had like 5 or something stitches left on my goal. Needle minders are from Ginger Stitch AU and Midnight Spell Designs. Fabric is 28 count Evergreen Dew by Lugana by Livendale A. The designer of this pattern is Fiona Baker from World of Cross Stitch. It was out of that magazine, which is why all the pages are torn. And then I have that in a really cute project bag I got off Etsy. I don't remember who from, but I was looking for a koala one and I found it. Most of these projects I completed goals on, so, but the next one is one of the few I did not. It is the Frogwarts Year 6 Band Sampler by Black Needle Society. I got 1,246 stitches on it. I finished with Weasley's Wizarding Wheezes, Lever Corpus, and I've started the first of the 2 Vanishing Cabinets. I also finished frogging the Year 5 quote, which was 154 stitches that I pulled out. Needle minders are all from Black Needle Society. Fabric is 28 count French Vanilla Mistake Lugana from Live and Die LA. I'm about 1,500 stitches from my goal because I have a plan. Let's put that in capital letters, right? So my goal is to do basically a third of Year 6, Year 1 or Year 2, or 3 quotes per month. That will get me to June next year. And then my goal is, before Frogwarts Year 7 starts, to get most of the body of the stitching done. So all I have left is the bands. So this diamond band on all 4 projects. So I'm not doing those. So I did all of the math, worked out how many stitches I had left and divided it by 3. So I have a post-it note. So on Year 1 I have to get 2,293 stitches per time, so that's times 3. Year 2 is 2,257. Year 6 is 2,695, so it is one of my bigger months. Quotes for Year 1, 2 and 3 is 2,352, and quotes on 4, 5 and 6 is 2,528. I tried to keep them all about a fairly similar number. They are a fairly high number for a single project for me per month, but I just really want to have it done. That doesn't include any backstitch I'm going to go back and do. Year 3 has to do some, Year 4 needs some, Year 5 has some, Year 6 is going to have some. So I just want to have it done, completed, all of that jazz. So I'm before I hit this month's goal, like I have a post-it note that tells me exactly how many stitches I need to hit that goal, like how many stitches I need to finish on that project. I'm going to get the Vanishing Cabinet finished. I will start, I will finish the ring, and I may start on the second one. But I'm going to do the ring all in E12, which is why my E12 is out. I don't know where it went. I think they're all on the floor. So I can match all of those colors. I'm going to do all of the jewelry completely in E12. Somebody else did that, and I'm like, that's a really fun idea. And I keep adding more sparkles, like the pearl to the words, and then I'm adding pearl to the potions that you can't really see because they're still in the shadow. This is a gram guard I made. a couple of years ago, and that is in the year 3 project bag. So that is everything on that project. Next up is, so I call this Smoky Villains. I don't actually know what it's actually called. This is by Cross Stitch. Here is the cover image, and here is where I was, and here is where I'm up to. I got more done. So I am not doing the little sparklers around the characters in white. I'm doing them in a black, pink, blue, yellow overtoned petite treasure braid. So it's all sparkly. Up close you can kind of see the tones between the pink, the blue and the yellow, but on camera it just looks black. I did on the heroes, I did it on the white base or the silver base, and I finished Gaston. So next will be LeFou, who's over here. I got 600 stitches on this, which completed my 10,000 to 2,400 stitch goal. I think that is 5%, so it was like 500 something stitches, because this just hit that 10,000 stitch goal. This is stitched on 32 count Lugana Quick Quotes Quill by B Stitch Me, which was from the year 4 Frogwarts box. Needle Minder is from Thread Wine, and that is in a Black Needle Society project bag from 2023 nice list, 22 nice list, one of them, 2022. Next, apparently I missed a page in my notebook. 2 more. Next up is Pacific Crest Trail. Here is the cover image. This is by Black Velvet Stitches, and this is stitched on, and here is where I was, and here is where I'm at. So I basically, since the last time you saw it, should have only worked on California. I'm about halfway down California. I did have to move it in the Q-snap, so it is going away until the number gets spun up again. I did 1,388 stitches. As you can see, I'm getting close to the bottom, but not as close as you would think. The bottom is here. So, making progress. I am not even 10%. I'm still only 7% on this, because all of the states get filled in. Though I am really tempted to send this to her when it's done and go with the logo and go, do you want me to fill in the colors, or do you want it like this? It's up to her. Filling in the colors shouldn't take too long, even though it's 75,000 stitches or some ridiculous number like that. So Needle Minder is by Midnight Spell Designs, and 25 count Lascaux fabric Lugana by Live and Die LA in a Live and Die LA project bag. So my last project I worked on is Ribbon Candy Ornament by Calico, Calico Crossroads. I got this from 123 Stitch quite some time ago. I'm not doing any of these designs. There are 8 designs in this thing. It is double-sided cross stitch, and I finally think I have a method that works for me. It's called, so this came up on one of my wheels. I don't remember which wheel it was on, but it came up on the wheels, and the number of stitches I needed for that wheel is actually greater than the number of stitches I have left. So in theory, I'm working on this wheel until it's done. So here is where I'm at. Here is where I was. Here is where I'm at. Basically what I'm doing is every approximate 100 stitches, or to the end of the thread that gets me to 100 stitches, I do a length in this. No, I'm doing a length in this every day. This is my 25/7, except I'm actually doing closer to 40 or 50 stitches, because that's the length of the length. So I'm doing one length in this a day. So I do 100 stitches, do a length in this, another 100 stitches, and then I'm doing a 10 by 10 square finish on my Jurassic World one. Once that's done, I may focus on this, just because I want it done. Though, in saying that, somebody who shall remain nameless maybe doesn't hate it anymore and may keep going, because I want to do a UCLA one for my mother-in-law. So we'll get there. I mean, I did start this in like 2021, so I've got more done on this in the last 6 months than I had in the previous year, I swear. That is also in a Black Needle Society bag. This was from the Murder Mystery box they did years ago. So that is all of my projects. While we are on my stitching stuff, I'll give you my stats for July, because that's how long it's been since I filmed last. I did 9 projects. I did 3 starts. All 3 of those were those little tiny minis. I had 4 finishes, which again were those tiny minis. I completed 2 goals because I wasn't really working on my goals last month. I got 6,444 stitches, and I did 370 back stitches. So I didn't do a ton last month. July, summer, it's always going to be crazy, right? It is what it is. So that is where I'm at. I have also put in, I finally worked out how to get the gridding to work on my electrical light parade. That's the top. So at the moment I just have the outline and the first 5 columns done, but look, you can see the grids, and I have all of the lengths cut. I'm doing pink down, I'm doing orange across, and I'm doing yellow for every 5th one. Just makes it easy to count when there's 300 and something stitches across. I've been struggling working my way down. Turns out, if I put it this way, work my way up, I don't miscount as badly. So, I got like half a row. I had to recount it 4 times, gave up. And then the other night I worked on it and I got 3.5 done in like an hour. So, I do need to be putting in one of these like every day or so. I'm trying to finish that small project for the work one, and then that will probably get switched out with 100 stitches, one of those, 100 stitches, one of those, until they're done. And then, you know, then I work on the ribbon candy ornament, and then, you know, just trying to get stuff done. I do have a tiny little bit of haul. I got the last Atom Heart mystery box. I have opened this one because I didn't feel like filming it when the day came, and then I put it away, but I wanted to know what was in it. And these are my favorite chips ever. Sorry, I thought I had removed all the black, but I had not. So we get a couple of surprises with this. So we also got a snag nabbit, which I keep losing, so that's great to have. A little accessories pouch, which I use a lot of, so I like these. And then the 2 colors we got are, I did not open them, sorry, I'm going to make ripping noises. This gorgeous, like, purpley grey color. see them. No, this one is straight grey, but it's stunning. It's like this gorgeous glittery black and grey. And then the other one is the purple. This one is still shiny, but it's more iridescent than glittery. And the notes in the pack are, it's Storm Clouds and Amethyst. Storm Clouds is a glittery swirl of grey, black and mauve, while Amethyst shimmers with a rich velvet purple glow. So they may be some of my favourites, but then I just love all of the colours that she's had. I probably need to stop doing the mystery box because I have a ton of them. I haven't been keeping projects because I'm trying not to start projects, and I no longer have a Joann's to go and get thread to keep projects. In saying that, I actually need to do a fairly bulk order of thread because I keep running out of colours. So we'll see what happens. But that is all of my stitching stuff. Quick life update. As I said, I have been off work for about a week and a half. I have another half a week to go. So that sprain might be a break, might be ligament damage, might just be a bad sprain. But I'm off my foot for 2 weeks. I did 1 day on my crutches at work, and then probably asked if I could get the rest of the time off while I was on the crutches. They were gracious enough to help me pull all of my shifts, so I'm not having to go out sick for those shifts. They were able to get them covered, so it makes me feel a lot better about not letting the team down. I do have a specialist appointment next Wednesday, and we find out what's going on. I'm hoping he's like, you'll be fine. I don't think that's what's going to happen. I'm still getting a lot of pain in it. I may not have been using the crutches as much as I should have. My husband has now made a deal with me of wearing the boot as well, which I'm kind of doing. Like when we're leaving the apartment, I'm wearing the boot, and when I'm at home, I'm just kind of sitting down. When I'm doing a lot of working, I'm pulling out the boot. So the boot is terrible. I hate it with a passion. It's heavy and it's uncomfortable, but I wore it yesterday when I went to Costco. Okay, I got to use one of the little vroom vroom carts, which took longer to work out how to comfortably use than I will say. Also, this is my first time going to Costco since like I moved over here, because this is my first Costco in America. Same as the Costco's back home. Just different stuff because it's been 8 years. So no, but that was fun. I behaved myself and only spent like $150. 160 something. Much better than I could have. It could have been real dangerous. But I can get a lot of my snacks and stuff, so I've got a couple of people who have Costco memberships, so when I get back to work, I know more what I'm doing over the next couple of months. I can go and like stock up on the bulk things because it's cheaper than buying them from the store, like chips, and I got my nut bars because I really like those. Fruit cups, things like that. Just, you know, stuff to give me a bit of variety in my lunch pack, because I am now trying to not buy lunch so often at work, and doing the take my lunch. I'm getting like just the frozen meals. So that's where I'm at. I think I did a Disney. I mostly did parades, fireworks, and It's Small World and Tiki Room. I did the fireworks from Star Wars Land. Here is a little of the projections on like a little I know the word I'm looking for, but it's not coming to me. A little clip of the projections on the castle, on this black spire, on the walls. It's really cool. This is the 60th fireworks. Next time I go in, it will probably be those projections and fireworks for Halloween, which I haven't done from Star Wars. So I know I need to move further over so I get a better view of the projections. These are the fireworks. The fireworks you can see from where I was were the fireworks over It's a Small World. You don't see the ones over the castle because they are behind you. I also did Paint the Night because I love it. This is my favourite float. Followed really closely by Mac. And yeah, like I didn't take any photos. I wanted to go to Disney. I had a reservation. I don't even think I had a reservation. I think I made a reservation in the afternoon, like as I was leaving. We do have a reservation for next Wednesday, but that is the day of my appointment, so we're probably going to cancel it. But I do want to try and get in over the weekend or Monday because I do want the tote bag, because I'm a nerd and a Disney geek and all of that jazz. I do not know what I will use the tote bag for because it's just one of those like plasticky non-woven ones, but I like the artwork. I don't know if we'll get there, but we'll see what happens on Monday after my appointment. So I did a sleep study and I'm getting dental to try and help with that. Otherwise that is pretty much it. I don't even know how long this video has been. I actually had some projects, so that was nice, and I may have had to restart twice. So yeah, if anybody is free on the next couple of weekends, next Saturdays, Sundays, depending on where you are, would love to have a stitchy chat. Hit me up on Instagram. I have a Discord channel that I don't have anybody in yet because I changed up the way I was doing things. So I've been wanting to do that for like the last hour. But yeah, that's it. That's all from me. Do the YouTube things, like, comment, subscribe, find your jam, stitch on what you like, and I hope you have a great week. Ciao.